Hey guys, back again for more larynx fun, huh? So we talked about the structures of the larynx, a little bit about all of the cartilage in the larynx, the one bone, the hyoid bone, and then we talked about a couple of the muscles that happen. Now, for sure, it's important for you to realize that your vocal folds aren't muscles. So it's and in fact, your vocal folds are like just leftover tissue. It's kind of like, oh wow, that we can make such great sounds with leftover tissue is awesome. So you should be on the second piece of paper. And this one has places for you to identify different places. And so please make sure you're taking notes while we watch of this stuff come through. Now remember, your vocal folds are inside your larynx, at the top of your trachea, at the right where that arytenoid cartilage and the thyroid cartilage are. That's right where they're at. It is important for you to know that these are mucosal membranes, which means they're snotty tissues. They're just mucosal linings are disgusting, which is why they're all on the inside, right? And this mucosal membrane is stretched from back to front across the larynx, all right? So if you're looking down into your larynx, this front is front and this is back, okay? So let's see what this looks like. Well, that looks like a white piece of paper. Oh, here it is. Why does their length matter? Because the length and thickness of your vocal folds, it affects the sounds they can make. Remember when we talked about sound, anything that is different about the substance that's vibrating, the vibrator or oscillator, whatever is different about the oscillator makes a difference in the sound we hear. So that affects the pitch. This is why if you have male vocal folds, you're typically going to have thicker membrane that is that your vocal folds are made up of, and they're going to be more massive, and so that's going to have slower frequencies in the sound waves that come off the vibrations that happen there. It's going to have a lower pitch. All right. So now here, oh, I love how my picture's like so in the way. See if I can move me. All right. So here are the vocal folds here. Can you see how they're white on this picture? There is a lot of other stuff here, but these are the vocal folds. Can you see how they're kind of joined together at one end and open at the other? Now, everybody's vocal folds are going to be individual to them, to themselves. And it's only one of the things that makes a difference in the sound, the overall sound or tone of the voice. And to me, this is amazing that we're even so individual that our vocal folds are different from each other. All right, so now move my picture again here. They are pearly white when you look at them. Like I said, you could take a small fiber optic camera and they can thread it up through one of your nostrils and down through the back of your throat and down in and over. And they can use a strobe light because the vibrations are super fast and they can slow them down and they can actually film what they look like. It is disgusting. That's why it's on the inside. And they kind of are V-shaped, closer together at one end and open. In a newborn, they're 3 millimeters long. Now, that's really tiny. And they can grow between 9 to 15 millimeters in adult females and 15 to 20 millimeters for males. However, millimeters don't make any sense to me. So if you take a look at your pinky nail and you go from the top edge along the very top edge of your pinky nail, this is as long, and there's two of them, it's as long as what most female vocal folds are. Male vocal folds are about as long as your thumbnail is from one edge to the other, just along the top. Can you see how this is much bigger than this? And so that's why men have enlarged Adam's apples to accommodate for that difference in size, all right? And why they can sing lower. So these vocal folds, oh wow. So here, this part right here, you remember from before, this is the epiglottis and the trachea. This is the vocal folds. And then grayish areas are membrane that they call the false folds. They are there. They can be used in certain circumstances, but they're just not the things that are normally the vibratory part of the phonation when we're making sound when we speak or when we sing. All right. So I know this is amazing, right? In fact, I'm gonna go backwards one because this is the picture you've got to make sure you have, and my face is in the way. So your epiglottis up front. This trachea is the inside inner space, as if you were looking down into it. In this picture, it doesn't look so great. Vocal folds here, false folds there. This is the corniculate cartilage because they have to name it something. And then that way you have everything on there. So now for sure, this is insanely complex. And each one of you has one. Well, you have two vocal folds, but each one of you has a larynx. Each one of you has this. And whether or not you use yours to sing, you could, because we're made to sing. That's amazing. It's amazing to see these things work in action. It's amazing to hear it. And so making sure that you know what's up with all of this is a big part of knowing what to do as a singer, and to appreciating that, maybe you don't want to be a singer for the rest of your life. You don't have to be, but to have a greater appreciation of what happens, all the stuff that's happening when you're hearing someone sing. Now, for sure, this is where all of this information came from, because it's important to know that we have scientific research behind all of this. Pedagogy is the art of teaching, and vocal pedagogy is teaching people how to sing. And sometimes people think that they're either born to sing or they're born not knowing how to sing, instead of thinking that just like every other instrument we're going to work on, you can be trained. It's super important to know that you can get better at doing this. It's a skill you could improve. So when we're working on this in Music Connections, give yourself a chance. Make sure that you're doing everything you can to give yourself the best shot to see what's up with this. Now, for sure, am I expecting that all of you are going to, have future careers? Some of you are just waiting for someone to come break your heart to be the next T-Swizzle. But that might not be in the cards for you. But you could enjoy your voice for the whole rest of your life. It's something you can do for just about ever. So hopefully you have questions. We will still be doing stuff with the 2 pages in your notebook when I get back on Wednesday. Make sure that you have all of these things kind of lined up so that when we go to color them and when we go to talk about them, you'll have a vague idea of what's going on. All right, guys, good luck.